This is my RTX 2080 Ti, and this is a card that's lived its entire life water-cooled. And today I'm going to convert it back to air-cooled, like it originally came in the box. And we're gonna see if I can clean this block back to how it looked when I got it. This was put in my computer, I believe, March 20th, 2020, and it's lived there ever since. It got me through the thing, and I want to be able to use it in a new build, but I don't want to use it in a water-cooled build. I want to use it as an air-cooled card. And we got a little bit of junk that's built up over the years that we got to see if we can clean, refurbish. So you can see our biggest issue is this spot of corrosion up top. It's a little blue, maybe our nickel plating is wearing thin and the copper is starting to deteriorate underneath it. We can see if we can get that off. I don't know how much of that we'll be able to get off. We can try the toothpaste trick or something like that. And then we'll just try to clean up our jet block, our fins here. They just got, I mean, I've used pastel coolants in the past, other crap that's found its way in there. The carbon's still performing well, but first thing we gotta do is return it to its original air-cooled form. So that's where I hope that I've saved all the pieces. Back to normal, and there's absolutely no chance that when I was done, I noticed that there was a thermal pad that I missed. No! Everything went smoothly. Our weapon of choice is gonna be just some water with some dish soap in it, and a toothbrush for at least the acrylic or plexi part of the water block. You don't really wanna use anything abrasive or alcohol-based like IPA on the acrylic because it'll give it micro cracks and then it'll be foggy and essentially ruined. When we get down to the nickel-plated copper, it's a little more hardy, so we can use toothpaste, has some abrasiveness to it, and hopefully get some of that corrosion off. As for the nickel-plated copper cooling plate, you can see that we were right on that one. The nickel plating's starting to come up. You can see some bare copper through there, and that's why it was starting to corrode blue and get the same effect happen around, pretty much around the entire edge. You can kind of see the nickel plating has wore away, but still works. It shouldn't hurt it structurally. It's just gonna get blue again, so not much sense in spending too much time trying to clean it perfect. The fins are all clean now, so everything on that looks good. The acrylic plate came out pretty good as well. You can still, there's a little bit of fogginess where the water has run through it. I had like an opaque fluid in it at one time, so it's a little scratched up from that fluid going through there over time, but looks a lot better. All back together. For the most part, cleaning a water block, a GPU water block, is pretty simple. There's really not much to the water block. Most of the value in the block itself comes from the machining time really spent. The only thing really to pay attention to is if you're gonna clean your water block, make sure on your acrylic or your plexi here, don't use anything that has abrasives in it. So I always like to use this Dawn dish soap or something like that. And then for the block itself, the nickel-plated copper, you can use a bit harsher of chemicals in that. Jay's 2 cents is the one I learned the little toothpaste trick on. And that works great too. I wouldn't use toothpaste on the acrylic because it'll scratch it. Same with like IPA on the acrylic. It'll create these little micro cracks in it and it'll fog it all up. It would still function, it would just be foggy and in my opinion, wouldn't look very good. But now that it's off and clean, I can store it, and the card itself is back in its normal air-cooled configuration, so we can use it on a future build. So stick around for that. I hope to see you in that video. Till next time.